Okay, this video is about how to do a blinking timer. So it's going to start. I just changed it for right now for the time right now, but I changed it to 1 minute, and then once it hits 30 seconds, it's going to change to a different color and it's going to start blinking. And I'll show you how I did that. But let me show you the demo here. Alright, so he's at 1 minute and it's going to count down. And I could collect the reduced timer and it would jump to 30 automatically and start blinking, but I'm just going to let it count down. And you'll see it go in a couple minutes, or a couple seconds anyways. And bam, see, it's now flashing and it's blinking. You have blinking, flashing, and then the colors change too. And I died. Alright, so I could have collected that green timer and I would have gained my minute back, but I didn't grab it in time. Or I could have got the reduced timer and then it would have jumped the 1 minute to 30 seconds, or just let it count down like I did. Alright, so let me show you how I did that. So you have your original object timer. Now I had it at 15 minutes I believe in my other video, but I just made it for 1 minute for demo purposes. You know, you can change this to 15 if you want, or 10 or whatever, but I just want to show you how it blinked. So kept that at 1 minute, so that's the normal timer. So you got your seconds, minutes, and hours, and then alarm 0 is going to kick in, and it's going to jump to where it's going to count. You know, subtract 1 second at a time. Then this is what's different right here. This area right here. So if the seconds reaches 30 seconds, I'm going to have it change to object timer lose and set it to true. So that's what, because originally this was a 0. This was 0, this was 0, this is 0, my last demo, last video. But I want to change it after 30 seconds. It's going to change to a different timer. You could change this to 50 if you wanted to or whatever, but I chose to use 30. So once it hits 30 seconds, it's going to instead of this area right here was saying something about go to end room, but I changed it to saying instance change to object timer lose, set it to true. So it's going to go to this object timer lose here. Alright, then do a create coded sheet, and then it's at 30 seconds, okay, because that's what my other timer was at. So my timer is at 30 seconds. It's going to jump to this object timer lose, and then 30 seconds, because that's what it was originally. That's what it was in the object timer. Once it hit 30 seconds, it's going to jump to object timer lose, and so that 30 seconds carries over to the object timer lose. Set it to true, so it switches over. Depth minus 1000. So you got to repeat the same amount, so 30 seconds. Alarm 0 kicks in, then it's going to count 1 millisecond, 1 second at a time, and then once it reaches 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours, then it goes to go to room end game. Alright, and then I'm going to also, I've done this before, you want to set the object timer lose to not visible. So do not make it visible. That's going to start flashing. So, and then alarm 1 is going to kick in from the main 2 tab at 5 milliseconds, and then it's going to make the object timer lose visible. Set it to true. So it's there on the screen, you just can't see it. But this makes it blink. This makes it blink. It shows, and then it doesn't show, it shows, it doesn't show. Then it's going to go to alarm 0 at 5 milliseconds, and it's going to go back and repeat, and it's going to show, well, it's not going to show. Alarm 1 is going to show. Then it goes to alarm 0, and it's not going to show. Then it's going to go back to alarm 1, and it's not going to show. Or it's going to show, and then it's going back to 0, and it's not going to show. So it keeps doing that. And then in your draw event, I set my color to orange, because red was too dark. And then it does the hours, the minutes, and seconds. This is it draws the string of numbers on screen, and the location where it's going to be located at, for your hours, minutes, and seconds. And I had to put the color inside this strand of where the code's at for where it's going to show on screen, where it's going to project on screen. I had to put that color in there. Otherwise, it doesn't. I don't think it doesn't work. And I used the code for the color. And I didn't use this icon in the draw event. I didn't use this set color. I didn't use this right here because it's going to mess up the other text they have on screen, like your ammo and all that stuff. It's probably going to make, I'm sure it's going to make all the colors orange, and I don't want that. So in order to make it separate, you have to put the code in there inside this strand of code, which is probably why it works, because I have this code. So if I take this code out, watch. If I take this code out and I put in this color here, it's probably going to mess up. I just want to see what's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to work right. Whoops. Alright. Let me save this real quick. I just want to see what happens here. So I think all the text is going to be the same color because I used that icon drop-in. I could be wrong, but I think you have to use that code for the color. Alright, so far it's okay, but once it hits 30, I'll just go over here and I'll just grab this. See, it doesn't change it. It's white. It's not a different color, so it doesn't work right. It does the blinking correctly, but it doesn't do the color. So you actually have to put the color inside the draw code. So this works. See, this color was green, it didn't turn green. So you have the code for to project the clock, and then you put the code in there for the color too. Because if you don't do that, then it doesn't show the color. Alright, and that will conclude this video. Thank you.